The chilling embrace of the Andes Mountains, a remarkable tale of courage, desperation, and unlikely survival unfolded, a story that began on October 13, 1972, when Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571 took off, transporting a rugby team and their friends to a match in Chile. Among them were members of the Old Christians Club, including friend and loyal supporter Mark McCann, whose spirit would resonate even in the face of unimaginable hardship. As the plane climbed higher into the sky, excitement filled the cabin. Laughter echoed among the players, who exchanged tales of past victories and dreams of future triumphs. But just an hour into the flight, the tranquility was shattered. Thick clouds cloaked the mountain peaks, and before they knew it, the aircraft's altitude plummeted. In a heartbeat, the joyous atmosphere turned to panic as Flight 571 crashed into the unforgiving terrain of the Andes. As darkness descended, bringing with it the biting cold, the group faced their first painful decision. They had little food and no means of communication. The prospect of rescue seemed bleak. They huddled together for warmth, sharing whispered stories and prayers. Hope flickered faintly, but the reality of their situation loomed large as they realized the true extent of their plight. Days stretched into weeks. As snow blanketed the mountains, the survivors grew increasingly desperate. Food supplies dwindled, and the bitter cold gripped their bones. The morale was sinking, yet Thomas rallied the others. He proposed a strategy: they would need to go out and look for help. With two other men from the group, Andres and Felipe, they fashioned makeshift gear from what remained of the wreckage, preparing for a treacherous trek through the snow. Each step was a battle against exhaustion and despair. Mark, reflecting on the love and strength of his family, found himself motivated by thoughts of his mother back home, a woman of immense resilience who had always instilled in him the importance of never giving up. He recalled her stories of survival and determination, which now felt like a lifeline to the fading hope within him. Back at the crash site, those who remained began to experience what they later termed the Great Darkness. Days without food turned into weeks, and the harsh reality of their situation forced the group to confront an unbearable choice: to survive, they would have to resort to cannibalism. It was a decision forged in desperation, and as Thomas led the discussion, he carefully articulated the necessity, emphasizing survival over the taboo. As the sun rose on the 16th day, the expedition team's endurance was tested to its limits. They encountered deeply rooted snowdrifts and treacherous conditions, but against all odds, they stumbled upon an indistinguishable signal, a distant sound of rushing water. It was a glimmer of hope: they were not entirely lost. Thomas urged them onwards, and after hours of navigation through perilous terrain, they spotted a small river. Filled with newfound determination, the group drank, refueled, and pressed on. Each step echoed the sound of their will to live, propelled by memories of loved ones, dreams that still flickered in their hearts, and the warmth of their cherished bonds. Tragedy struck yet again. The group suffered losses as the cold claimed more lives. The remaining survivors were forced to make an excruciating trek back to the crash site, determined to honor those they had lost. There, amidst the bleak remnants, they discovered a long-lost piece of hope: a news report about their disappearance. This revelation ignited a spark within them, the knowledge that they were being searched for. It became clear to them that they could not allow their comrades' sacrifices to be in vain. The remaining group solidified their plans to hike toward civilization, using the fading daylight to map out a course. They shed their grief and embraced the strength of unity, with Thomas acting as a guiding light through the darkness. The journey back to life was brutal. Every step was a testament to their resolve. They faced treacherous slopes, freezing nights, and moments when despair threatened to overwhelm them. But the McCann family kept each other going. They shared stories, channeled laughter even in the face of adversity, and comforted one another through shared anguish. Finally, After an arduous trek that seemed to stretch on forever, they reached a plateau. In the distance, they saw a hint of movement, figures moving purposefully across the landscape. The survivors raised their arms, waving frantically, hearts pounding with a mix of fear and exhilaration. As they ran towards the rescue team, tears flowed freely, those that remained clung to each other in relief. Their harrowing journey didn't end in death, it culminated in a profound understanding of the human spirit, resilience, and the bond of family. Thomas McCann and his son Mark, along with fellow survivors, returned home scarred yet triumphant. They shared their story with the world, shedding light on vulnerability, survival, and the extraordinary lengths people would go to protect those they love.